Titanfall 2. If you've been around the movement shooter community, then you've probably heard all about this game. What's not to like? You've got fast movement, the incredible campaign, and, well, the fast movement. But from what I've seen, nobody really talks about the other aspect of the game. You know, Titans. Which I find surprising, considering that, well, Titanfall wouldn't be Titanfall without the Titans. So why is that? Well, we're gonna find out. And along the way, I'll also show you why I, get this, actually enjoy Titan combat more than pilot combat. When playing as a pilot, your environment becomes your playground. Pretty much any part of any map is accessible if you've got the right tools. That's the reason why all of Titanfall's maps are relatively big in size compared to your average FPS title like Call of Duty. This is where speed comes in. If everyone can access the same positions you can, well, that just means you have to get there first. Having the right amount of fluid speed is one of the building blocks of any movement FPS, and Titanfall 2 is no different. Look up any montage of Titanfall 2 gameplay, and I assure you, about 99% of them are either stim or grapple users, since they're tacticals that directly influence your movement speed. There are also different techniques of movement, like air strafing and bee hopping, that one can learn to truly master Titanfall 2's movement. But once you get inside of a Titan, well, all that just kinda goes out the window. Getting inside a Titan is like getting inside a car. You can only follow the designated roads, and you can't go any faster than what the speed limit is. For new players, this sudden movement shift can be quite jarring. One minute you're a wall-running demon, and the next minute you're lumbering around in a mech. Also, depending on which Titan chassis you chose, you can actually become slower. Now, in reality, a Titan can run faster than a pilot in most circumstances, but the restriction of being confined in the lanes of the map is one of the reasons why people tend to avoid playing in a Titan. Aside from movement, the ways you engage as a Titan are drastically different than the ways you would engage as a pilot. As a Titan, you essentially become a tank. Your job is to engage with other Titans and rack up as many points as you can before it gets destroyed. Pretty straightforward, right? First off, you gotta pick what Titan to choose. And then, you've gotta choose what kits on your Titan you want. Then, depending on what Titan you chose, you've got to familiarize yourself with what role you'll be playing, and how to actually use any of the weapons you've been given. If you aren't aware of it, yes, Titanfall 2 is pretty unbalanced. And this applies to Titans as well. For new players, it can take a while to learn what Titan is right for them and what exactly they have to do in order to get the most from their Titan. This learning curve is another reason why people tend to avoid Titans. I mean, the badass mech would feel a little bit less badass if you were getting destroyed in every fight. Titan combat isn't exactly as fast as pilot combat either, which can be a downside for some. So yeah, compared to pilot combat, Titan combat is slower, debatably harder, and is all around a different experience. Despite everything though, I love this aspect of the game more than anything else. Now, everything I'm about to say is kinda simplified because I want to keep this video short. So for starters, for all the crazy shit that happens in Titanfall 2, it's nice to have an experience that's a bit more grounded. Once you get the hang of it, Titan combat becomes just as intuitive and creative as pilot combat can be. Next is the skill ceiling. For sure, some Titans are easier to play than others. I personally find joy in playing those Titans that require a bit more finesse in order to become effective. Take Ronin, for example, the weeb's wet dream. A good Ronin can single-handedly wreck lobbies if they're not kept in check, but a bad Ronin is nothing but a wet toilet paper roll. And finally, I'll just say it, the concept of fighting in a giant robot against other giant robots is just cool. That's literally it. Anyway, that's all for me. If this video gains enough traction, I'm thinking of going more in depth about Titans in general. More specifically, I'm thinking about making an overall guide, but that'll probably be far off in the future. So I hope you enjoyed this little video of mine, and until then, I'll see ya.